Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Cale Casey and Mark Leffelbein. We're going to do the evening update here, right live from the command post in Willow, Alaska for the McKinley fire. You can hear folks in the background because they're still working. 500 plus firefighters out there. Containment jumped to 78%. We'll show you the map in a second, but I know a lot of you are curious about the weather. We've talked about your concerns about the wind and maybe some rain. So Mark's going to give us a weather update. What do we got?
Well, we do have low pressure starting to make its way in. Now, it's going to be a very large, broad low pressure system, and so there's going to be a lot of components to it. Our first one's going to be tomorrow. We'll see an increase in cloud cover for tomorrow. Then tomorrow night, we'll have a chance of some rain showers. Same with Saturday. This isn't where I'm expecting the big rain showers. It's not going to be tomorrow night and Saturday, but might see a little bit of light rain there. What we are expecting though is Monday and Tuesday. That'll be our better chance of some rain. Now, what's coming Monday and Tuesday is actually still out over Asia. It's still getting formed, and that's how it's such a large low pressure. We're going to get an initial push here, and the second one's going to come and really track the Aleutian Islands and move into us. Now, where exactly that sets up is going to determine if the rain gets into the valley. We already know it's going to get in the terrain around the valley. It's going to be in the but whether or not we get it actually in the valley here is going to be dependent exactly where it sets up, and if we can get just the right angle to keep from downsloping, which downsloping dries the air and it keeps it from getting into the valley. If it happens just right, you could get a quarter of an inch of rain or so on Monday.
Quarter of an inch.
We need a lot of rain, but that'll at least help. That's good for us. The one thing a lot of people ask about is wind.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what one of the breakdown questions is. Is there any chance that we're going to get a significant wind event? I was talking to Harold tonight, just now before I came down here. And I'm just going to check in real quick with Mike and Renette behind us. Are we doing okay back there?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We have our tech crew back there. They're looking for your questions, so they've got their phones out. We just want to check in with them. So Harold was saying, hey, my concern still is if we get a big wind gust, I'm sitting in this whole dry easement on the highway. All the flashy fuels are bone dry right now. People's yards who haven't done the brushing, or even if they have, they know they got dry fuels all around them. Will we get a big wind event between now and the rain?
Okay, and that's important to distinguish between big wind event, like what we saw when this fire was really moving. We're not going to see that, not a high probability there. Might get some winds to our south, maybe down to Wasilla, maybe over by Palmer, that direction. But up a bit farther north, you're not too concerned about that. We will see an increase in wind though. We'll be up to 8-9 miles per hour. So far, the past couple of weeks since I've been here, it's been a lot lighter than that. That'll be enough to knock some of those trees over. That does happen when we start getting those stronger winds.
Any direction on that?
Well, initially they're going to come out of the south, and that's going to be for us through Sunday. On Monday, I'm expecting them actually to turn to the north and be about the same speed. So we're going to get both wind directions here. But as far as a large wind event, no, that's not what we're expecting.
Okay, so that's good news for folks. Those of you worried about the winds, Mark's saying 8 to 10, we can handle that. We've got a lot more black line on here, and for each of these black lines, we're in the 30 to 50 to 100 foot mop-up depth. That's why we're able to put more black line on the map. We actually aren't just having a line that's got hose on it, we're now in deeper and deeper. So if we did have a heavier wind for whatever reason, let's say your forecast is way off, so we get a big wind, well, we now have depth in a lot of areas to hold. So if we get a spot, we'll be able to catch it right outside of our line, ideally. Right? So you're predicting 8 to 10. I heard you say rain Friday night, light rain?
A little light rain Friday night and Saturday, just enough to raise that humidity level and put a little bit of rain on the ground. The bigger rain is expected more on Monday, possibly even Tuesday.
So finally for the weekend of Labor Day, when people will be out recreating after all this, I think our last measurable rain we talked about was July 24th.
Yes.
We've had like 6 weeks of this drought, which has actually been a total aberrance for Alaska. Normally it's very wet this time of year for the fair. And now it's Labor Day weekend, and is that our jinx? It's obviously our good luck too.
Seems to happen that way, doesn't it?
It does. Thank you, Mark. We appreciate it. We know you're back there at his desk. I always run up to you and ask how things are going. If things change, we'll of course jump right on the feed again and let folks know, right?
All right, yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mark. For other folks asking questions, again, we're getting depth. We have another section of containment right here. We just turned this black. In fact, Renette just got the marker here, so if you see that bulging out there, that's hand-drawn. Hand-drawn from here down, hand-drawn in this section too. So that's our 78%, folks, which we still have The exact number is 564 firefighters. So as we go into Labor Day weekend, we're on the offensive. We're putting more black line in. MEA is working very hard. They just got some power over to 86 mile here. The Schaefer's just got there. I was over talking to Chuck and Bailey, and their lights went on today across the street. Mark and Josie are waiting on theirs, but sometimes they have to put the lines down, the laterals down the alleys, and as Mark says it, into no man's land before they can bring power to the house. So we know that there's about a couple dozen, maybe less, homes that are still being patient waiting. As I drove back from the line tonight, MEA has crews out there working to dark, and our operations field chief, Brandon Peterson, was saying that we've committed every resource we have as firefighters to support MEA's mission to get the power back on. So everything we can do in our, we call it a utility group, and in each of these areas you've seen us say Delta, Kilo, Victor, Alpha. What you don't see on here is we have another group called Utilities, which is dedicated to just helping MEA out. So it feels like you've been running those generators for 10 days and it's a long time. We're almost there, and MEA is doing everything that they can. And talking to folks about the some things that are happening now that we're in more recovery. I know that at least one friend got a phone call today from a 907 number that started asking about damage repair. Could have been a robocall, could have been a sincere call, so that does bring up the break it down topic of scams and who's real and who's there to help. Whatever we put out from this fire team, folks willing to help, like Team Rubicon, the military veterans, the Red Cross, the Matsu COAD, that group, those are all groups that we know are trusted and true, who are here to really help you. Just be aware that in any disaster, you're going to see, in fact, Mike's bringing over the sheet right now. We'll be posting this, we'll be handing this out. We've been trying to work on it more and more. We vetted these folks, we meet with them regularly, we talk with them, we know that they're real and sincere. But in any disaster, in any situation, whether it's a hurricane down in Georgia or something like that, there are folks that sometimes have ill intent or have false GoFundMe campaigns or those kind of things. So it is up to you to kind of use your spidey sense, pay attention. If you have any questions, check in with us. The firefighters are still all up and down the road, and we know you're getting to know them really well. A lot of generosity out there for our fire crews. The postcards today, we have a stack about this big going in the mail. They're going to kids who are on their first day of school, they're going to birthdays. All that you've been giving in the right way, those kind of kind signs and kind cards, is really what motivates the crews, and we appreciate that. Looking ahead now, we'll have a community meeting here in Willow at 3 p.m. on Sunday. Hopefully we'll have some rain, as Mark said, on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, to start dampening things down. It won't get us out of the drought, but it'll really hopefully allow us to also revisit those evacuation levels. I think one of the trigger points for the evacuation levels is a little bit more increase in containment, and will we get a wedding event that will then decrease our probability of spread. So we're looking at those two factors. I talked to a friend today who's out here who said he's not going to invite any guests up from Anchorage to visit until they're out of level 2. So we realize that level 2s you're still taking seriously. We want to thank each and every level 3 person who did the right thing, and that can mean what it means to you. If it was the right thing to protect your home and that made you feel at peace and you stayed out of our way, then hats off to you. If it was staying out of Hidden Hills to not get trapped in there and you went to an evac center, we know that was hard, and we really appreciate how you gave us room to work. We really appreciate how you followed our direction, because a lot of hard work went into holding this, but it was never guaranteed. This is still a bit of a tricky spot for us, and we are still very much working for containment in here. This will probably be one of the last pieces where we can get it. We are going to be moving the staging area at Sheep Creek Lodge out of that area and over to the gravel pit. That already began today. We want to keep taking steps towards normalcy. Sheep Creek's going to open up on Saturday, and we don't want to be in the way of the public going in to support that fantastic family and their mission of serving their community. It'll be barbecue and band on Saturday night, and then you won't see our equipment in there. We're going to move it out of the way, and so that it can just return to normal. We'll still have an information officer there. We're aware that this has impacted local businesses. Of course, it's impacted Sheep Creek. They haven't been open since the start. They're still getting their well tested, and they've brought in a whole load of food, and they're preparing all their ingredients by hand. So they're going to be about 2 weeks out of being an income there. We know it's impacted folks. Again, if you have any questions, post them here. Are we seeing anything?
Nope, just thoughts and prayers and thank yous.
Okay, thoughts, prayers, and thank yous. We appreciate that. I know that speeding, of course, we're all still watching that. I think it helped last night to have the engines outside of Ladasa. So when you come down the highway, you can see the 2 engines that are helping us out, and that really highlights the fact there's a lot of cars turning in there. And then we have the school zone. So let's slow down for the kids. Let's slow down for the firefighters. Watch out for those ash pits. Apparently they've been getting very wide. They've been getting, and talking to homeowners, they know that they're there because they've seen or they've even touched their foot in them and just see how they disappear. So that's our biggest concern, is to keep you safe. Go ahead and on the rebroadcast, post anything here. Our crew is motivated, and we're working with the incoming team. They're going to be in on Saturday, so that's coming up real soon. We'll give you more information there, and we'll sign out for tonight. Thanks to Mark, thanks to Renette and Mike and everybody online for being here. We'll come back in the morning.